Founded in 1729, Arlington Street continues today as a gathering place for progressive people of faith in the greater Boston area and beyond. We are located at the corner of Arlington and Boylston Streets, across from the Public Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.
Last week, we celebrated the flower ceremony, a Unitarian and now Unitarian Universalist celebration that reminds us to honor the unique beauty, gifts, and perspectives of each human, just like we marvel at the beauty of each flower in a bouquet. The creator of the flower ceremony, Norbert Chapek, wanted to show in ritual form how the presence of the holy speaks in and through each of us, how important it is to listen to that, and how we might bow to the divine presence in one another. That theology did not play well with the Nazis in the former Czechoslovakia, and it cost Dr. Chapek his life. It is also, I could say, pretty uncomfortable for the Christian nationalists who are vying for control of our own nation right now. Their story is too fragile to allow for variations in genders or races or experiences, much less to celebrate them. So if we, Unitarian Universalists, have in our midst this very threatening theology hidden right in our own hearts, how can we harness its power to make a difference in the world? The darkness around us is deep, my friends. And Dr. Chapek's ritual, for all its beauty, can be mistaken by conflating the idea of our specific special qualities, as varied as all the types of flowers, with the fact that we are not like others. But the theology that is our grounding goes deeper than that. We are not like the others, and yet we are from the same source. Our differences are opportunities to get to know that source more fully, not to compete for dominance or worthiness. This is important for Unitarian Universalists to note, because we have more and more told ourselves the story of how special we are to justify coming to a building that's called a church on Sunday mornings. You may have heard the old joke from a time when none of our New England congregations had services during the summer. Why do Boston Unitarian Universalist congregations take the summer off? Because everyone knows God goes to the Cape. Now, Vermont, Maine, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket might have a word, but they could reasonably make the same claim. Now, of course, we do have services all summer, and so gleefully we do. But that joke gets to the heart of a couple of things. First, the class privilege that's been a long-standing part of our culture. And second, the ambivalence or downright disdain we sometimes show for organized religion. It's been a long time since church attendance was seen as a social necessity in white New England culture, for sure, and even longer since humanists and atheists had any real need for it. You might say, but this is different. We're not like those churches. We might all mean something a little different when we say those churches, but we all agree that the one we prefer is the one we attend. This is Arlington Street Church, a congregation unique in all the land. We were the site of the first legal same-sex wedding in a church in the United States. How amazing is that? Yeah. The first out lesbian minister in Boston. This was a location for turning in draft cards during the Vietnam War. This congregation offered sanctuary to Guatemalan refugees in the early 1980s. This was the first church building to be built in the Back Bay. Abolitionists spoke from this pulpit. William Ellery Channing was serving this congregation when he wrote his sermon, Unitarian Christianity, proudly owning the label Unitarian, previously known as an insult. The list goes on, and it's very, very impressive. All of those things, and so many things I didn't mention as achievements, are certainly true and things to be proud of. Keeping track of those great moments in our history is how communities build identity, bond, create a common story, and there's no doubt that that's an important part of congregational life. It allows newcomers to decide what they want to align themselves with, puts each of our individual stories into a larger story. Knowing our history as a story we share gives us strength and guidance and inspiration as we face the challenges of our own times. But what if I were to tell you that each and every congregation in our association has a similar list? A list of firsts, tangles with history, brushes with fame, links to important people. There are 1,081 Unitarian Universalist congregations, more or less, all around the world, each of them unique in their land because of their own list of standout achievements. Each congregation is different, but they have a rich lineage of great achievements. And in that, none of us are special. And not being so special has some distinct advantages. The first of which is, it means we're not alone. It means there are others who are struggling with the same things or who have struggled with them in the past, and we can learn from and with each other. We don't have to work in isolation. The holy can come to and through their experiences and help us find our way. Secondly, you are also collectively part of a larger story. You can build solidarity with others if you see yourselves in them, and together we can do more than anyone could alone. Arlington Street Church was at the forefront of Boston's religious embrace of the queer community and has lived to see a day when almost every congregation throughout the city also flies a pride flag outside. That is an amazing trajectory to witness, is it not, my friends? The legacy of the leadership of this congregation is not going to be forgotten. So now the question comes, what might you now learn from congregations that are working to advocate for trans rights, protect immigrants, support voting rights, or reproductive justice? How can you join their cause? And finally, this is the most challenging as you think about how to navigate congregational life. Our faith needs practices for listening and speaking to one another that allow us to hear the sacred speaking through the beautiful individuals and giving us insight into what is good for the whole. If you don't know the kind of person I am, and I don't know the kind of person you are, a pattern that others made will prevail in the world. That path that others made wants us to distrust and demonize those who don't agree with us, who are of different backgrounds or who bring a different worldview. And it is very literally destroying our nation right now. We cannot let it destroy our faith communities. Our urgent task is to resist that pattern by deepening our compassion, taking time for conversation, for listening and understanding until we can carve out a new path. Our polity and our covenantal faith are designed for this. But too often we take them up like we do our secular democracy rather than as the sacred commitments that they are. If we find God, by which I mean the holy of your understanding, where charity and compassion and love are, and we're practicing community and our congregational polity faithfully, our love has to be big enough to sometimes disagree, to say no, to stay connected while we wrestle with big questions that do not have easy answers. The love that's the center of this faith is not a sentimental kind of love that avoids conflict and says we're all wonderful all the time. It's the kind of love that wants to celebrate and make space for all of us. When we fail, when we falter, when we achieve great heights of accomplishments that we've set for ourselves, and when we're swimming around in the murky muddle of it all. It creates a whole that refuses to be without any of those parts. It's a love that knows that we will disappoint each other, but offers itself up anyway, day after day. It's messy and it's complicated, and it calls from us a compassion that keeps an open heart, even while facing tough decisions. And most of all, it offers us a sacred embrace that's available to us through all of our faltering. So my prayer for you as I leave you, dear ones, is that you may grow together by listening to one another's stories, understanding each other's experiences and ideas, that you listen for changes in our world. Listen for the voice of the divine in your neighbor who disagrees with you. Listen for what you might learn if you're willing to take on another perspective. I pray that you may come to understand that differences of opinion or style or thinking about things are not threats, not problems to be solved, but the whole point of being in religious community, knowing the divine through all of that difference. May you find yourselves deep in the truth that each moment of realizing that our way is not the only way is an invitation to discover that bigger way that holds us all. I pray that you will not wait for a minister to solve this for you. A minister can only solve it with you, taking up a partnership in which you know the direction you wish for this community, and they find ways to support you. That direction you hear, that call, when you are deep in relationship and understanding, is where you'll discover your mission for this time in history, for the ways that you can offer hope and healing, justice and peace to one another, to this city, to this nation, to this world. Ubi caritas, dear ones. God, however we imagine the holy essence, is here where we are gathered, and also here when we are not. God goes to the Cape with us and also goes to rehab with us, goes to hospital beds and to soup kitchens. The sacred is where we are paying attention to the source of life within us and in those moments where we feel abandoned and betrayed. Reverend Dr. William Sloane Coffin, more than half a century ago, wrote that the world is too small for anything but truth and too dangerous for anything but love. In this broken and conflicted world, we will feel the power of the future pulling us and the lessons of the past sobering us to the urgency of living our faith. And I pray most fervently that you all discover together what the kingdom of all can look like as you turn to one another. I have great confidence that you will find your star. So as I end this last sermon with you, dear ones, I am so grateful for all I have learned from and with you. I've been changed for the better for having known you. My heart has grown many sizes since being with you all, both through challenge and through tender, beautiful conversations, and I will not forget you. So I offer you, in parting, a traditional Persian language word for goodbye, Khodahafez. It's made up of two words, Khoda, God, and Hafez, protect, Khodahafez. May the God of life, the source of love, be with you and protect you, whatever is to come. And may you know that God is wherever you are. Khodahafez. Amen. Our benediction is the words of Octavia Butler. To survive, let the past teach you, past customs, struggles, leaders, and thinkers. Let those help you, let them inspire you, warn you, give you strength. But beware, God is change. Past is past, what was cannot come again. To survive, know the past, let it touch you, then let the past go. Let us keep on moving forward, my friends. Let us share our loving kindness with one another, putting our hands to the sides of the Zoom squares or sending it through our fingertips and our palms to those around us, circling this bruised and beautiful world, and then feel that love coming right back to you with your hands at heart center. Let the love that is the spirit of this community stay with you in the week ahead. And I invite you to be seated as we hear our traditional Irish blessing to close out the congregational year.
May
We are located at the corner of Arlington and Boylston Streets, across from the Public Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.